actually gonna like start. So fucking.
It's recording.
We'll do it live.
We'll do it live.
Matt
just ripped ass.
Okay.
What?
All right, we're gonna start in 5.
All right.
4, 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Oh, why are you looking at... Okay.
Fuck,
Hi, welcome to the...
God, this is a train wreck already. Hi, welcome to the Escape Podcast. Starring me, your host, Ramiro.
Matt, what's up, guys?
And Nick.
This is our attempt at our own little podcast on this corner of the internet. Thanks for stopping by. If you have no idea who the hell we are, we're just a couple of assholes around a mic. Literally.
I would say it's a few, but...
What? Who?
There's 3 of us.
A couple is 2.
There's
jackass.
3 of us.
Oh, fucking...
Even
What are
Yeah.
a jackass?
We're all jackasses in front of a mic.
Really.
Oh,
The Escape Podcast, the name basically comes from... We're a trio of just knuckleheads, I guess you can call us. Always doing some dog fucking shit. And Escape Pod, we're kind of like in a pod, escaping from all of our friends. We have all these different ideas that we do that are so spontaneous and so just random shit that we do. That's where the Escape Pod name comes from for this group. And it's a podcast.
Because we have our main group of friends, we call it crew. So a lot of times the members of crew aren't down for the things that the 3 of us are. So we like to go off on our own and explore. So that's why we called our group the Escape Pod. And we've been doing this for years, but it's just now that we're starting a podcast.
Well, I mean, we've always wanted to do a podcast. And like you said earlier, we tried twice. The first time we tried, and Jackson wouldn't stop saying the word f*** it. So we had to not just use that. And then the second time, it just really wasn't all that entertaining. So this time, our third time, hopefully third time's a charm, we have some more condensed, more entertaining. And you know what? Fuck it. If you don't like this podcast, it doesn't really matter because we're just doing it for the fun of it. And if you do like
Smash
it, thank
that
you.
dislike button.
Smash that dislike
Unsubscribe.
button.
You already subscribed on accident.
Erase us from your memory.
Wherever this is going to go.
Report this for copyright. Just whatever you got to do.
All right. Do you wanna take a crack at one of our Escape Podcast episode 1 topics? Oh, okay. You know what? I'll start with one of mine. All right. So I want to talk about John Boyega. So as you all know, Star Wars is over. The last movie came out. It was a goddamn train wreck.
Thank God.
Yeah, no, they're definitely going to make more. There's no way. Like, they're going to wait a couple more years, maybe a little shorter than the period of the last trilogy and this trilogy. They're going to make more once, like, the heat has died down. Because, God, it was a fucking train wreck. But one thing I wanted to point out that I thought was just so fucking weird is John Boyega on Twitter. It's really weird because on Twitter he was like, it's like, fuck it, now that I'm under contract, I'm gonna shit on all these movies. And it's just really weird because I don't know if John Boyega was in anything prior, but I think he was one of the cast that was like, you know, started out as an unknown. So it's really fucking weird to kind of bash on the thing that kind of gave you
Just like throw himself under the bus that fast.
Yeah.
Make himself look bad for other companies.
Yeah, like other companies are going to look at this guy and be like, oh, well, if he doesn't like our movie, he's not going to tell us because he's under contract. And then once it's up, he's just going to tell everybody how awful it was.
I guess he was in Pacific Rim Uprising.
Oh, that's right. But no one fucking saw that movie.
And Detroit and The Circle. I don't know any.
Did you guys watch Pacific Rim?
No.
The first time?
I've never seen either.
I did not.
No? I watched it.
Yeah, how was it?
I didn't.
I don't have anything to say about it.
It wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible. And it's weird because a lot of the opinions I hear from people who watch it are really polarizing. Like, it was amazing because it was based on an anime or manga. And then, like, people are just like, it was fucking dog shit. I didn't think it was terrible, but, like, I mean, I don't really like action movies.
Dog shit would not be terrible?
Dog shit is terrible.
Dog shit is... Oh, I get it. You're saying you didn't think it was dog shit.
I didn't think it was.
I thought you were saying that there were people who were like, it was dog shit. I didn't think it was terrible. Like, you liked saying both of those things. I kept hearing about it, like, people... There's some people who are just, I think, like, into just, like, straight-up action movies where it's just, like, robots punching each other and shit, and I think they got, a lot of appeal.
Wait, are you talking about Star Wars or
what?
Pacific Rim?
No, Pacific Rim.
Okay.
What were you talking about?
I was
the dog
talking
shit
about
movie, is that Star Wars?
Both. They're both terrible.
Okay, both dog shit.
Fucking, I saw the last, I saw the last Star Wars movie, and I was sleep deprived because we had stayed up the last 2 nights watching all the other previous 8. So we went into the theater, having just seen it.
You
it was
watched
the worst.
all of them?
It was the fucking worst.
Why did you do
God.
that?
It was, oh my God, I'm triggering myself. God damn it. All I can remember is that, like, they were really not great films, And then I thought to myself, isn't it crazy? No, I'm going to get fucking roasted by anybody who listens. Isn't it fucking nuts?
I just want to preface this because Ramiro has talked about Star Wars before, but Ramiro didn't watch Star Wars until much later in life.
Right.
So he doesn't have the childhood nostalgia that a lot of people do when it comes to Star Wars. I just want to say that before he starts going in.
Yeah, let me go off. Basically, I think it's fucking wild that there's an entire goddamn franchise beloved by the entire world, and there's only 2 okay movies. The rest are terrible.
What are your 2?
4 and 5, which is the first one and the second one. That's it. The rest are not good. They're not good movies.
You didn't like episode 3? It's goofy. It's like
okay. No. Actually, that's a good point. The first time I watched it, I'm like, wow, that's all right when I was a kid. The second time I watched it was then, and it was only made fun because of all the memes. But if the meme culture didn't exist, that would just be a fucking dumb movie that nobody liked. Yeah. You know, people complained about it at the beginning because it was a dumb movie that nobody liked. It's only because of memes of how bad it is that people like it now.
I feel like this is a very big topic we're hitting right now because I'm just saying because a lot of people have a lot of strong opinions when it comes to Star Wars.
Well, a lot of people are wrong.
So we're just speaking from our experience here. That's what I'm saying. And I was like, I forget how old I was when Star Wars 3 was coming out, but I was like very excited for it because it was like the final Star Wars at the time, which now is like the new one and whatever. But yeah, like I remember I had like a whole bunch of toys, a whole bunch of video games for Star Wars 3. We'd get like the lightsaber toys and like battle out in the yard and everything. So I loved the movie because I was at an age where it was like I was gonna love any movie that I watched that I was excited for.
Were you the kid? I feel like every kid was that kid that after watching a movie, you're like, this is my personality for this movie. You left feeling like a badass.
Well, that's what they always used to say about like cowboy movies back in the day, like when theaters were like a new thing and there was like cowboy movies. People would come out of the theaters like walking all bow-legged like a cowboy because they're like
take out their gun, kill a man, and then like their lady swoons.
Well, yeah, because I definitely still get that feeling where like when I watch certain movies that are action-packed or I don't know, like I get like in the mindset of the movie. Like I went and saw that 1917. Did you? No, you didn't. You sent the review of it, but yeah, I went and saw 1917, and then because that movie's shot in a way where it's supposed to look like it's all one take, when I was leaving the theater, I felt like I was in an action movie. I'm like driving home, and I feel like I'm going to turn around
killing
the corner.
Nazis. World War One.
Yeah, World War One. But like, yeah, like I just feel like I'm going to turn the corner, and there's going to be like some plane coming at me, or like, you know, like, I didn't feel like, obviously, like, I don't know. It was just like a different feeling coming out of it, and then it kind of faded after like 3 hours. But when I was a kid, that feeling would last for like weeks. Yeah.
maybe I'm a just depressed motherfucker, but I don't get that anymore, and I feel really bad about that. Like that was
see the right movies.
Huh? Yeah, I just gotta watch better movies. Yeah. You know, I gotta watch Joker and then become an incel gamer.
I can't believe you didn't see Joker because you're such a big Batman fan.
I know. I felt so bad. I don't want to sound like a hypocrite, but honestly, the biggest reason for me not going to watch it was because I didn't have anyone to watch it with. And I always tell Jake, don't be a pussy, just go to, if you want to see a movie, just watch it. But, okay, here's where I'll defend myself. I didn't really care. Mm-hmm. I figured it was going to be a good movie, or it was going to be a bad movie. Either way, it was going to be a movie, and I'll watch it eventually. And I didn't really see any reason to watch it in theaters, but I did want to watch it. Where Jake
is our friend. Jake is a friend of ours from the
He's
crew,
not here.
Crew that I was.
He really wanted. He loves Marvel. He fucking loves that shit. How many movies has he texted us like in the main chat where it's just like, hey, like the new movie just came out. I really want to watch it. So I want to watch it with me, and everyone's like, sorry, dude, I already watched it.
All of them.
And then he doesn't watch it until like much later. You know, if that was me, I would be
That's
like
Brandon with music. Our friend Brandon.
Nope.
We're getting a little specific.
Name dropping. Yeah. All I'm saying is I'm not that type of person, but in this exact situation, I was. And I don't know if I really missed out.
I think you did.
Yeah?
I really enjoyed it. I think, like, there's a lot of criticism of it, and I think people took it a little too seriously in some situations, and then, like, not seriously enough in other situations where they discredit it without really analyzing it that much. I don't know. I just enjoyed it. That's all it was. Like, there's a scene near the end of that movie that gets super intense, and like my heart was racing when I was watching that scene, because when I went and saw it, I saw it in theaters, and I was like close to the screen, and the sound was good, and I was like invested. So when it got to that last scene, I was just like, oh my god. And then there was like all the like talk about threats, which was like completely over the line, that people like, nobody's gonna come in and shoot. I mean, it's happened before. Okay, they're distracting me with the snacks over here, so I'm losing my train of thought.
Fucking stop eating that. A, you're not speaking, and 2, you can't speak because you got nuts in your mouth.
Oh, he's got nuts in his mouth.
That's actually a pretzel.
Classic Matt.
He's not watching me.
Nuts in his mouth. Can't help himself, poor bastard. Sorry,
but anyways,
continue.
no, that's all I said. Just like Joker it was an enjoyable movie. It was pretty intense, pretty violent though.
All right, I have a question for you guys. All right, so you said something about sitting up close. All right.
I'm gonna put a pin in something right here.
Sure.
And
okay.
then I'll take that pin out in a minute.
When you guys sit in a movie theater, where do you prefer to sit? Because
I do like the middle, but I also like being close to the aisle in certain theaters.
Okay. Well, just in case if
no, it's not like it's not like a threat thing. It's just like, I don't know, like being a little off center from it is nice sometimes, because I don't know why. I don't know what it is, but there's just some theaters that are like that.
Here's the thing. The reason why I ask is... Oh, did you want to answer, Matt?
Yeah, I'd say middle to back, in the aisle, preferably.
All
But
right.
there's no, like, really strong preference wherever I'm at. I usually don't want to be in the front couple rows, unlike a lot of others. I don't like that position I'm sitting in, but like...
No, see, here, that's the thing. Is I like sitting in those front couple rows, and I know it's fucking blasphemy. You're in the majority.
Yeah.
You're in the majority. People hate sitting up those. They think it's like a waste of space. But I like it because the whole point of going to a movie theater is that you're seeing something on the big screen. If you're sitting in the far back, that's just like holding up your iPhone in front of your face and like just watching a video. But when you're up there, you're looking up. Like, your vision is the screen.
I do like it for that reason, but there's some theaters where they put those last few rows way too close.
Yeah.
When I went and saw Split in theaters, I was like, waited way too long to get those tickets and reserve the seats, because they're, you know, those like lounge seats where you got to reserve them ahead of time. And I was like craning my neck the whole movie, and I was like sore when I came out. I was like, that was awful. But I do like being close for the reason you said, and I was kind of close for Joker, but not too close, so it was a good spot.
Here's a good example. Oh, did you want to say something?
I would say, like, similar question, is there certain movies or types of movies you'd want to sit close, and ones you'd want to sit far or middle?
I think they're all good. I think they're
Does
all...
it depend, or does it not matter?
I don't think it matters. Oh, here's
comedies are being funnier in the back, because then you're more in the crowd with people.
Yeah.
And then, because comedies are like a fun shared experience when you go see those in theaters. Like, I saw 22 Jump Street in the back of the theater, and I was like with all my cousins and stuff, and that was a lot of fun, just like enjoying it with everybody.
That was a good movie, actually.
Yeah,
I like that. That was pretty funny. Okay, really quick, but my whole thing about this thing is that, like, if you want to look back at the memory of when you were watching a movie and only remember just the movie, sit in the front, because that will be your memory, as if you were in the movie. And then, like, I'm not kidding. Like a good example is I went to go see It Comes at Night with you and Jackson, and we watched it. And my memory of It Comes at Night is when that rat passed us in the goddamn theater. You know,
there was a rat in the theater.
I was taken 100% out of the movie because we were not far back, but, like, you know, obviously the thing that caught my attention was a thing running past our feet, and I'm like, huh.
It wasn't past our feet. It was like, it was a few rows up, but it was a rat in the theater.
And then I also watched The Lighthouse, which I also thought was a good movie.
I still haven't seen that one.
It's anyways.
Would I not enjoy it if I saw it outside of theaters, you think?
No, you'd like it. I think. Well, I'll explain that in a second. But basically, I sat in front for that one, and when I think back to that movie, I only think of just the scenes. Especially since that movie was shot in the composition where it's just the square versus the whole screen. Like, when I look back at it, I don't think of like, oh, it was so limited, I barely got to see anything. I think of like, oh shit, I was in there. What was your question?
We put a pin in something. What did you...
The Lighthouse?
Yeah, but you got to it.
No,
you were saying that...
Like, if you would like it after.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so. The director who did Lighthouse also did The Witch, spelled with 2 big V's.
Okay.
I
saw
really
that.
like that movie.
Yeah.
If you really like it, you'll probably like this one.
I wasn't a huge fan of Witch or whatever, but I feel like that's because I don't remember who I watched it with. I think it might have been John and Jamie over at Sammy's. Just more friends of ours and my girlfriend.
I think they get the picture.
But I think I was not with the right group to be like analyzing the movie more, like saying like what does that mean. It was just like watching it at face value as like a horror movie.
Yeah.
So it was just like,
I feel like that's kind of...
yeah, it was spooky. Like the parts with the goat and stuff, I was like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
But like at the same time, there was like stuff that we weren't like picking up on, and then it was just like, what's going on here? You know, like I wasn't too invested in it. Basically, it just wasn't the right setting for it.
Well,
that's all.
All I say is that like I liked The Witch more than The Lighthouse. The Witch, that was scary. Like there's some stuff in there that's just like fucking unsettling. You know, like oh my god, and the score is fantastic. That is like some unsettling.
You have
music.
a very good attention for that stuff. Like I noticed you notice like the music all the time. Like, oh, this is the music that played when this guy was here earlier.
I don't know. I felt like it's weird because I was talking about that movie reviewer that I sent his take on the Joker. Was that no? On 1978 or whatever that movie's called. Sure.
What's that guy's channel?
His channel's called Your Movies Suck. I fucking love him. And like I was saying is he's very harsh on movies, but he's really fair. Like his critiques don't come from just nothing. But he gave The Lighthouse a 10 out of 10, and that's unheard of for him.
I remember that because you guys were hyping.
Yeah, me and Gomez.
Yeah. Well, somebody else too was like really excited about it.
Raj, I think.
Yeah, maybe. Because of that review.
Yeah.
Because it was a 10 out of 10.
And so when I watched it, I was thinking it's like, this is a 10 for YMS. I was entertained. It was a good movie. I was creeped out by it, but...
Was it supposed to be scary?
Yeah. It wasn't... It's more of a thriller. That's the thing. And like, but it's got elements that as somebody like us who is really familiar with like pop culture and like the concept of eldritch cosmic horror, you watch that and you think that's where The Lighthouse is going to go, but it doesn't. So for someone who's like familiar with Cthulhu and Lovecraft, I felt...
Which I'm not.
Oh, what?
I'm not, but continue.
Okay. Yeah, I left the theater thinking I wanted more. I kind of wanted more supernatural stuff.
Okay.
But it was more just gritty, realistic. And... yeah, and like again, that's not a bad thing, but like as someone who enjoys films because they can be anything that you want, like in the range of fiction and realistic, I was kind of hoping it dabbled a little more in the fiction. But again, that's just me. I think you'd like it, but I'm not going to recommend it.
Okay.
Sorry, that whole long fucking tangent just for don't watch it. Don't watch it.
Just a quick story about the movie theater, and then we can move on from the movie
topic.
Rat? No. It was what happened the other day when I went and saw 1917, where I walked into the theater and I was like running late because I had to pick up my car from, my car was getting worked on. I had to pick it up and then go over to the theater, and I felt like I was going to be late, but there's always previews, so you're not really late. Yeah. But I was like, I wanted to get in the movie in time, and I was just watching it by myself because I don't mind either. Like, if there's a movie I want to see, I don't have anybody to see it with, I'm just going to go see it. But I walked in the theater, and there was nobody at the front desk.
Oh, this story. Okay.
Yeah.
I saw what you were saying, but I had no idea what the fuck you meant. Like, if you were being absolute literal, go ahead, because I actually want to know.
So this is the story. I walked in. No one's at the front, like, the ticket table they have the local theater in like, my hometown. It's got, like, this area where, you buy a ticket, and then you walk through, and then there's another checkpoint where there's usually a guy at a podium, and then he'll tell you where your theater is, and then you go in there. You go to get your concessions or whatever, and then you go into the theater. But in this case, I walked into the front area. Nobody was there. I was waiting, and I'm like, if I stand here the whole time, I'm gonna miss the beginning of the movie, and I don't want to do that. So I walked in past the next area, thinking there'd be a guy at the podium where I could pay for the ticket, and there was no guy there. So I was
there anybody in the concessions?
There were. But
you fucking stole a ticket. It's not like this is a fucking Baron Twilight Zone episode where the guy in the tuxedo is just like in a world where things.
Listen,
you stole a ticket.
I should have figured it out. But I was gonna, like, I was walking into the theater.
I'm not shaming you. I'm proud of you.
And I was running out of time. And I was like, I know which theater it's in because I saw it on the screen when I walked in. And it's Theater 13, which is the one that I really like in that specific, like the Auditorium 13, because it has good sound. I've seen some movies there that I liked more than I probably would have later on, just because of how good that theater is. So I just walked in because I knew where it was. And then, yeah, I watched the movie for free. And then I came out, and then I went back through the doors that I came in, and I saw they'd put up a sign that said, "Please pay for your tickets at the concessions."
They fucking knew. They fucking knew.
They must have known or something. Or they were in the process of grabbing that sign when I came in or something. But I swear it wasn't in when I first walked in.
Did I ever tell you guys about when I worked at the movie theater back in Gurnee? And, oops, I'll edit that out. I don't really care if people know where
There's a lot of Gurneys in the country.
There is not a lot of Gurnees. There's like one. Anyways, I worked...
There's probably so many Gurnees.
I was working at the movie theater, and one day, I think it was a Tuesday. Tuesdays are the days that we fucking... It's like $5 Tuesday, and everybody and their mother comes to the movie theater. It's just like, oh my god.
That was me.
It's like, oh, there you go.
That was us when we went and saw It Comes at Night.
Was it?
Yeah, I think so.
No way. That was a really chill theater for a Tuesday. Like, those... Tuesday showings...
Yeah, but it was It Comes at Night. Remember? Oh no, it wouldn't have been a Tuesday because we were working at the time and we would not have stayed up until 3 in the morning talking about it after.
Yeah,
it was
right.
Tuesday.
Okay, so did I ever tell you the story about when I was working? It was a Tuesday night. It was really busy. There was like everyone and their mother was at the theater trying to buy a ticket, and on top of that, people were buying concessions because those were also like on sale. And I was working at a register that was kind of close to a hallway in which like all the theaters are down. And I saw this mother, father, and this little boy with this like our largest fucking soft drink container. They're walking out. They must have just finished their movie. And like the boy goes in front of like the cash register, not facing me or anything close to me, but enough that he's in my my view. He just kind of pauses for a second, and then projectile vomits nothing but fucking Coke. And I'm like, oh my god, that's hilarious, but really gross. But, you know, whatever, like, we'll get it cleaned up. And it's like, you know, and it's nothing but soda. This kid's been drinking nothing but Coca-Cola for 2 hours, you know. It's probably going to smell sweet, you know. It's not going to, and then it takes like a second, and the odor kicks in.
Oh.
And it's not, it's fucking, it's this sick fucking bile smell. Yeah, with everything that came out of this kid, it's just 100% soda. But it's like it went enough through his digestive system that it's not soda anymore. You know, it was fucking the worst putrid smell I ever smelled in my life. I almost threw up. I almost fucking gagged. Jeez. I don't gag at this shit, you know. And I was funny because my manager was there, Jen, and I'm like, Jen, I'm not working that register. And luckily, the kid threw up all over the line, so people weren't going to go there anyways until it was cleaned up. So I'm like, Jen, I'll help people make orders. I'm not working that register until that shit's cleaned up. And she was like, yeah, it's fine.
How long until it was cleaned up, though?
Like an hour at most.
An hour?
I mean, it's
a lot of time for vomit to be sitting on the floor of a theater.
It wasn't an hour. There was no way.
Listen, with how fucking putrid that shit was, it felt like an hour.
Yeah.
Like that carried.
It was probably about 5 minutes.
That carried. Sure.
But it felt like 5 hours.
I'm gonna say like at most like half an hour.
I'm gonna grab a water real
super
quick.
long.
Alright. Well, you did just break the first rule of podcasting. You left, so we're gonna talk shit about you. Alright, so
He's right behind us, don't worry about that. We're in a pretty small apartment in one of the there are 3 Gurnees somewhere in the United States. There's one in Alabama, there's one in Illinois, and there's one in Pennsylvania. We're probably located near one of those 3 states. We're not going to say which one it is.
It's
for
not
our
too
privacy,
big of a deal.
But it's not a big deal. Yeah, you're not going to kill us, hopefully.
There's only 3? I'm surprised there's only 3.
There's only 3 Gurnees in the United States. We're not recording this podcast in Gurnee. We're probably, 25 minutes from that town?
Look, you're giving them more details about our location.
I mean, I already said we were in Milwaukee earlier. So.
Oh, okay. Whatever.
We're not in Milwaukee, right? We could have went north, we could have went south. We didn't go east, we'd be in the lake right now. We could have went west.
Matt, shut up.
You don't know where we are.
They're going to find us.
They're going to kill us. Alright.
We were in Milwaukee earlier.
Yeah, we'll hit that topic, yeah.
Which was cool.
Yeah. because we got out and we were just looking for somewhere to go to the bathroom, and then we ended up finding this really cool little bookstore with like, you know, the really tall shelves, and it's like a maze when you walk in, and there was like a couple cats hanging out inside.
Wait, there were more than one?
There were two cats in there.
I only saw the one at the front door.
Yeah, there's one by the front door, and then
Poor
there was
cat's
another
probably
one.
dying.
Yeah, why is he? Well, it's his fault for being by the door, stupid cat. Just kidding. That's where his bed was.
Yeah, when you go to one of these stores that's not a pet store, there's a cat or a dog or whatever just chilling in there, you know it's a pretty chill place.
Yeah.
And it was.
Yeah, I went to a place like that one time in Michigan, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was in Michigan, and then we went into this bookstore, and they had, like, cats hanging out, and they were, like, I don't remember what else they had in there, but it was a pretty interesting place. And they had, like, high shelves for the cats to climb to.
Wait, where did we go to? Milwaukee?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
We were in the city of Milwaukee, yes.
Yeah, okay, now here's the thing is that...
One of the Milwaukee.
My entire life, I thought it was just... Right. We're in Alabama, and
now
we
you're
travel...
going to have to find another Milwaukee that's right next to a Gurnee.
I'm looking up.
My whole life I didn't know it was a city, even though I lived so close to it. And it was today that I found it was a city. I used to go to school in Peoria for 4 years, and that is a rundown.
Good luck
shithole.
finding a Peoria next time.
There's 5 Milwaukees.
Look,
There's
we've listed...
There's a Milwaukee and a Gurnee in Pennsylvania.
All right.
I'm not saying we're from Pennsylvania, but they might
Shut up!
be.
Listen, we've
There's
already
Milwaukee that everybody knows.
We've already listed so many different locations. They're gonna find out we live in Illinois.
We're recording in Kenosha, Wisconsin right now.
Oh shit, we're not even in Illinois.
The address is...
No, you fucking
That's too much.
Okay. Anyways, I was saying I
won't be here long.
lived in Peoria for like
Moving to
4
Florida.
years. What?
I said I won't be here long. I'm moving to Florida.
Okay.
You lived in Peoria for...
That's a shithole. Like it's like all run down. Like
Hey, that's where I was born.
you were born in a shithole.
I was born in the hospital. Just getting real specific.
Just stop.
My social security number.
God damn it. And I felt like, oh, most cities must be like this because the only other city I've ever been to is Chicago, and like it's pretty, but like there's not very much to do if you don't have money. But we spent like what 3 hours in Milwaukee, and like it's so nice, like aesthetically pleasing. There's a bunch of shit you can do, just walk into, and like, oh wow, look at the fucking the food market and the
and
bookstore.
we walked into like a building that had art exhibits and stuff going on. I mean,
it was fucking
mostly closed.
abandoned, right? But like we could still go into it.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I always really liked about the idea of cities when I was a kid, is the idea of like everywhere you look, anywhere you point, there's like some nook of life happening.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get older, you realize that cities are kind of boring because you can't actually go explore those places without getting shot. No, like
shot.
when I watched Blues Brothers, and like there's like a scene where they go to like Sister Mary's like School of Tolerance or something. You never watched Blues Brothers?
No, it's one of those that's like a classic. You gotta watch it. You
I'm
never
not gonna
seen
recommend it.
Blues Brothers.
I mean, if you like the music from it, then just listen to it on YouTube. don't watch a movie to listen to a song. And they go to like this nuns thing in this like the shady back alley in Chicago, and I'm like,
Yeah, because that whole movie takes place.
Yeah, exactly. There's like so much character, and again, this is like before Chicago was completely renovated to be a more like commercialized city versus an industrial one. And yeah, like in that little scene where they just go to like this place, there's so much character. There's so much like in while watching it as a kid, I like saw that, and I'm like, if they turned it into any other door, this would be a completely different movie. You know, that's like the really cool feeling about cities, is that like there's just so much going on.
Right.
But that's the thing about fiction, is that you can't actually just walk into any other, like you'll get shot.
You
like
can't go to those places. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot that you can see from a distance, but like I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
It's like I feel like unless you have an inn in a city like Chicago, like somebody who lives there, a friend, a relative, or something who can show you around like all the cool hole in the wall places,
Right.
you're really only getting to get surface deep at a visit. And that's why like I try deterring my family who visit from Mexico like all the time from going, because I'm like,
Right. And again, this is Chicago in Pennsylvania or wherever.
Right.
This is not.
This is not Chicago,
Not
Illinois.
the one you're thinking of.
This is not Chicago, Illinois.
We want to do that.
It's I tried to turn them because it's just like the most you're gonna see is the bean, which is cool if you've never seen it before, but afterwards that's it, and then everything else costs money. You can go to Chinatown, which is really cool, but that's on the opposite side of the fucking city.
Chinatown is cool.
It is. I really liked it.
Mm-hmm.
We went to like during when it was like fucking piss cold.
It was very cold, yeah. But it was cool just like walking into the shops and stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's part of it too. You just got to know where to go.
Yeah.
You got to do research.
That's what I'm saying. You either have to do research, but I don't know how to fucking do that. Jesus.
I get what you're saying, because you want to just be able to like just walk around and then just like go into random places.
Yeah. That was the first day I had boba tea or bubble tea, whatever it's called.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
That's good. Well,
I have a different opinion.
You have a different opinion about it.
I was thinking my whole life, or at least ever since I knew what boba tea, bubble tea was, I was thinking it was going to be this nice, smooth, lightly sweet, like vanilla or something mixture, almost like ice cream.
It varies so much.
Well, hold on. Almost like ice cream. And then you get but like it's like liquid form, and it doesn't taste gross like melted ice cream. You know, it tastes delicious. It's supposed to be like that, right?
Right.
Imagine that, you know. And then the nice little like treat at the bottom of those bouncy balls, you know.
Yeah, what are they called? I forget. I don't know.
What are they made out of? Is it some sort of rice?
I forget what they're called. It's like I should know.
Regardless.
Yeah, continue.
That's what I thought it would be like. I order mine for the first time. I stick my straw through like the plastic.
Because there's no hole for it.
Right. I take a sip.
Tapioca pearls. Sorry.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. I take a sip, and it's just imagine you take ice and crush it up to the point where it's like fine little crystals, not small enough that it's water, but just like a icy, you know.
Okay.
And then water.
That's how your boba tea was?
That's what it tasted like.
That's not how it usually is.
That's what it tasted like, and I was so disappointed. I cried after I left. Just there was like a fucking dream shattered.
Have you ever gotten boba tea since?
No.
It's not like that.
Well,
you gotta get it somewhere else.
Okay, well, because that's what like threw me off is because Brandon, who's Asian, was like, "This is the best place to get this," and I'll have what he's having, and he's like, "This is so good," and I'm like, "All right, let me try it." And I'm like, I don't like it, and I threw it away after I left.
Yeah.
Like I took a sip, and I'm like, I'm done with this.
You're not Asian enough.
Yeah, that's what it is.
No, he's white. He's not. He's white.
I am not white. God, we're giving away a lot of personal information.
Ramiro's the only white member among us.
He's laughing because it's true. We're not making this up.
All right. Okay, so I have a story. Recently my ears have been really fucked up. My left ear has been like feeling real fucking hazy, and my right ear I've been losing some hearing out of it. I don't think I told you guys. And the left ear, it's kind of been on and off again for the past couple of years, so I didn't really worry about it. But it started happening again. On top of that, you know, my loss of hearing in my right ear. I'm like, okay, I gotta get checked out. So I go to a specialist and everything. The first time I ever meet this doctor, and I think my doctor, which is a man, was hitting on me.
You hinted at this earlier.
He was like, I think he was hitting on me. And, okay, so I guess some, like, description of this guy. He's, like, pretty young. He has, like, a full beard, but not, like, a lumberjack. It's, like, short enough that just kind of, like, you know, I guess just grew out facial hair. But other than that, he looks young. I guess, you know, the beard can be a little deceiving, but I'm pretty sure this is a young guy. He's, like, going through the procedure, just asking me, like, what's wrong. I describe both ears. And when he talks, and I know this is a bit of like a stereotype, but you know, people with like more like flamboyant voices, that your voice doesn't determine your sexuality. Right. People who are gay tend to not care if their voice sounds super masculine, so they kind of let it become a little more flamboyant. It's just kind of like a generalization, but it's usually true. Right. You know? He sounded like don't worry, I'll bleep that name. Okay.
The person he's referring to has an incredibly flamboyant voice.
Yeah. I would do it if I knew how to do an impression of it, but I don't know if I would do it right. I would try and sound like a fucking idiot.
Like,
stop it.
Like the name that he's going to have to censor a bunch of times.
Listen, it's funny too because he has such a...
Hoof?
He has such a first name, last name.
Not our friend
Shut up.
A real person, a different...
He's got such a first
name... If you're listening to me...
Shut the fuck up! I'm not cut all of this! Alright, he's got such a first name, last name, that when you say the first name, you have to say his last name, too.
Yeah, there's certain people like that.
Yeah.
You can't just say...
Like Danny. You can't just say Danny.
How's it going,
I
Danny?
can. I mean,
Dan?
I've known him since, like...
Oh, sorry. Fucking...
I don't see it that way. But there are some people, you gotta say the full name.
Alright, where was I?
I feel like people feel like that about me. Like, people who don't know me. Nick... Yeah, like, I feel like people don't call me Nick as much, you know.
Oh, should we give away your last name?
Oh, no.
I'll bleep it. Okay, but going back to the
should be.
story, super flamboyant boy, so I kind of got the hints that he might have been gay. When he spoke to me, when he would when he would stop to listen, the reason why I think he was flirting with me was because he would do this. He'd like kind of tilt up his head, like kind of squint his eyes and kind of smile at me while he's like listened. And I'm like, do you guys ever watch Scott Pilgrim? You know Wallace, the gay character? Whenever he's like hitting on that dude at the bar who's dating the main character's girlfriend. I mean,
I've seen
the main
movie.
character's.
I don't remember this.
Huh?
I said I've seen the movie. I don't remember this, but continue.
The main character's sister, you know, and then like he's just kind of like giving him like a side eye at the end of the bar, and that the guy like freaks away. But then by the end of like that scene, they're making out. Okay. So he's like giving me this look, and I'm like, I might just be thinking about it, you know, like I'm overthinking about it. I'm just gonna continue on with this like procedure, like telling him what's wrong, and he tells me what he wants to do, recommends some like medicine, and then prescribes whatever, and then I'm like, all right, cool. Is that all you need from me? And he's like, it's like, yeah, unless there's anything you need from me.
Wait, did he say that? Really?
Yeah, he said it just like that. He said just like that, and then tilted up his head and fucking gave me the fuck me eyes. And I'm like thinking to myself, like, if there's any other situation and not a woman, because I wouldn't make like sexual jokes to a woman. But this is a young guy. If I didn't think he was flirting with me, I would have just said nothing that'd be considered professional. I would say that just for the joke, you know,
What was the reason you didn't?
Huh? Because I
reason?
thought he was flirting with me. So if I basically reciprocated in like this like sexual
so you
intention,
would have made the joke if it wasn't like something that you thought could have been taken
right,
like
right.
literally. I get it.
So, and I was like, and as I was walking out of that office, I thought to myself, huh, if I had said that joke, I might have been in his office a little longer. You know? And then on top of that, we get outside to like where his prescription notes are. He like writes a prescription, and when he hands it to me, I notice he's married, and I'm thinking to myself, would I fuck a married man?
Oh, what do you mean, like the ring?
Yeah, he's got a ring. Sorry, of course. That's what you look at a person's hand, like, oh, they're married. Their thumb is a little longer than normal.
I just wanted to say it because you gestured it, but like you didn't.
Yeah. Oh, did I not say hand? Sorry. I look at his hand. He's got a ring on it, and I'm like, oh shit, he's married. And I think to myself, would I fuck a married man? Yes.
I would hope.
I think I have before, actually.
Oh.
Yeah. I cooked a man, Nick.
Oh. Well, that's different, because that's somebody who's... Wait.
What?
Wait.
Yes?
Explain that situation.
What?
A lot of new stuff being revealed tonight.
There was a guy who is like, would you like to fuck my husband? And I'm like, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So everybody's okay with it.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like,
I realized,
it'd be different.
the point is, I realized when I was thinking, would I fuck a married man, that I had already answered that question with my actions in the past, and I guess I'm just a whore.
Well, listen, if you're doing it with the consent of everybody involved with in the relationship, I feel like that's good. I mean, not good, but not bad.
Well,
nothing wrong with that.
Polygamy or open relationships.
Right.
That's a new thing, actually.
I'm just saying, like, as long as everybody in the relationship is consenting. But if it's a different situation where it's like, would you fuck a married man, and the spouse doesn't know about it, that's a little... Where do your morals stand on that issue? I guess I wouldn't know, but I'm saying yes. You're saying you would? Sure. I'm kind of a whore. Yeah, that was a really weird time, and that's the thing is that normally I'm super fucking oblivious to this kind of thing. I had this girl in middle school, I think her name was Justice. It probably isn't, so I'm not going to even bleep that. We'll call her Justice, because her name was Justice. Okay. Anyways, it really wasn't. Like, not be the one that you're thinking of. Right. It probably isn't. Okay. It might be Julia. I think that's what the J... Weirder, is what I'm saying. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's not a common name. That's why I'm saying... Okay. I'm sorry. Continue, I was in reading class. Again, this was middle school, so that was a thing. I was in reading class, and there was a girl who sat next to me, Ian. Yeah, I'm not gonna go last names because I will actually fuck that up.
I know Ian.
Me, Ian, a girl named Jocelyn, and that's not the girl. And then the girl I'm talking about. And we sat at a table of 4, and we were just assigned there. And every day, like the girl I'm referring to would kind of like sit like this, like head tilted towards me, and just kind of like
resting her head on her hands.
Yeah, and then like accidentally like like bump into me, but like not move her arm, and just like
just leave it there.
And I'm like, the thing is, I'm so fucking oblivious to this kind of shit that I didn't know until like at the end of the year when Jocelyn and Ian both were like, yeah, she's super into you. And I'm like, what? I had zero idea.
She was like giving all the signs.
So that's what I'm saying, is that if I'm super oblivious to this kind of stuff, I feel like
you would have been oblivious
to
if it wasn't so like
so goddamn
obvious.
right. Like he was one step away from saying like, hey, that door's locked. No one's expecting you. You don't wanna I don't fuck all my patients.
Yeah. I don't know.
So I guess the question is, if you had to go back, for example, you had to go
No,
back
I'm
to
gonna.
that.
I'm gonna.
You are?
To fuck him.
Let's say nothing else happens. You go back there, and like you're his patient again.
Yeah.
And he does the same kind of signals, and like
probably
hints at something.
Steps it up a little bit.
He might.
You know what?
What are you gonna do?
You know what? Okay. And here's the
Escalate
thing.
it.
I'm actually gonna go back because he wanted to run a hearing test, but he couldn't do it the day I went because it was a Friday.
A hearing test. That's not. You're not there for that.
And now here's the thing. He was saying like, I'll see you again that day, and he's like, if
the same day?
No.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Sorry, yeah.
Sorry.
That day, like whenever the hearing test is, he's like, if he basically acts the same way with other people around, that's probably just how he acts. You know?
Okay.
He's probably just like really awkward.
There's gonna be other people at the hearing test.
Yeah.
Okay.
I assume you need more than one person to do the procedure.
Something.
I don't know. I
maybe,
could be wrong.
Maybe not.
But if it's just him again and he continues to act like it, well, I guess I don't really know. I need another variable to know if this guy is flirting with me. Are you guys oblivious to that kind of shit?
I used to be.
Yeah, same. I used to. Then it was like, pick up on some signals.
I'm bad at that.
Then I did. It's not easy. Not everyone's like.
It's kind of like
that.
Yeah, it's not like you know as much about it. It's hard to explain, but it's like if you just
how about
you're
this?
paying attention to people more, you'll pick up on the thing. But that's the problem too, because some people will only pay attention to the people they care about, and then they'll see it in like the smallest actions that aren't necessarily any signs.
That's probably why I didn't fucking realize Victoria Justice over here was fucking flirting with me. The girl from middle school.
Did you just say the full
No,
name?
Victoria Justice is the actor from Victorious.
Okay.
Or actually, that's a character's name.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyways,
that's a real name too.
Whatever. And like that's probably why this chick, I didn't realize it because she did not mean anything to me. If she fucking dropped dead.
That's what I was gonna say. I think like they're like part of it with the hearing guy might be that I'm losing my train of thought a lot, I guess.
How about this? And again, I'll cut this part out. Don't think of it like you're talking to the mic. Think of it like we're talking to each other. And Matt, I'm gonna fucking shame you because you aren't saying shit.
I'm still I'm losing my train of thought whether I'm thinking of it as the microphone or not. But
Mick, maybe you shouldn't have gone so high before the podcast.
I did.
He's not high.
And I don't.
He really took advantage of JB Pretzner's free weed starting of January 1st, 2020.
DJ Pretzel.
Pretzelmonger. What else other than the free weed did he promise? Because I feel like that was like the biggest thing that got him elected.
Probably not all the taxes that he's passing. But we're not getting political. We're not getting political. That's one of the biggest rules.
No political.
No politics.
No politics.
But it's okay. It's actually one of the biggest reasons I wanted to do a podcast is because I wanted to practice editing, just serious like working out the kinks, making the sound as good as possible, even though we're only sharing one single mic.
Definitely send the audio before publishing, please.
Yeah. Oh no, for sure. I'd run it through you guys first, and then on top of that,
we'll have a listening party. Ourselves.
Maybe some comedic elements like here I'll edit in fucking.
We're going to sound effects. Huh?
Yeah, we'll do sound effects. It's an audio podcast, of course.
Okay.
Gotta keep it fresh for the listeners. Listen, can you hear that? The gunfire of Chicago right outside our door?
Chicago, Pennsylvania. We live. I played a clip of the Hannibal Buress, the Handsome Rambler podcast earlier, and on his podcast, he always keeps this I don't know exactly how he does it, but he's got some kind of instrument or keyboard thing near him, and he'll just like play like random stupid beats in like the middle of the podcast, and then like he'll just cut
like
in
Bird
like
Up?
singing songs. Like it's not. I don't know how to explain it, but it's pretty funny. Then he just like comes in like singing songs about random stuff.
All right, I have a theoretical for you guys. It's $1 million what question, meaning if you accept the condition that comes after, you will receive $1 million in which you can do whatever you want with the $1 million. Keep in mind, $1 million is a lot of money.
Yes.
A lot of money. All right. However,
we're broke college students. It's
the
a
condition.
fuck ton of money.
The condition is, and the reason why I thought about this is because, you know, like some of the dark shit that you think of. Like, you never act on any of this kind of stuff, but, like, it's like something happens and you think, like, I could have killed that person.
Just, like, hypothetical.
Yeah,
like,
hypothetical.
You don't even think about, like, you wanted to.
Right.
You're just, like,
well,
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
There's, like, that saying, I don't know if, like, it was a psychologist who said it, probably just some internet shit, where it's like, you are not the first impulse you have. You are the person that thinks, wow, that was really fucked up of me. I like to think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I'm not going to act on that, like,
right.
thing. That's the person you are. So everyone thinks of horrible shit, but only if, like, you, like, actually have the conscience to be like, I'm not going to do that. All right. So, this happened to me a lot, where, the second, and it's really weird, the second, kids are old enough to be able to start running, their parents don't give a shit about them. They're like, go, little Timmy, fucking run with the wind. And they don't, like, they're just, like, kind of, like, running like toddlers, like, ha, 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 like, running away. And and the reason why I think about this is because the past couple of weeks it's happened a lot, just coincidentally. I'm not really around kids. Like, there's nothing in my life that would have me be around kids, but just coincidentally, the last couple of weeks, it's happened a lot where just a kid would just basically bump into me, not literally, but just kind of like go right in front of me, a complete total stranger, just kind of like, and then like run back, and it's just like, that's so dangerous. Like, obviously, it's good it's me, not like a fucking murderer or something, or a child abductor. But I was thinking, like, it's super irresponsible to parents because what if I was? You know? So here's the thing. You get $1 million. However, the moment a child that you do not know is with you and no other eyes are seeing you, that kid vanishes to another dimension, never to be heard from again.
Oh my god.
And then you're still there. You still have to either explain or like pretend you don't know what the fuck happened, but you do know what happened because you're agreeing to this if you do agree to it.
I don't. I'm already out.
No, you're already out?
For those reasons, I'm out.
See,
I don't want to be responsible for the disappearance of
the
kid.
specific thing that happened was I was in an interview with a hotel, and as I finished the interview, I was walking down the hall, and a suite door opened, and it was a mother and father, and their little, like, toddler kid who just learned how to run, and he's fucking bolting down the hallway, but I'd already, like, almost gotten to the end of the hallway where we have to turn a corner to get to the exit. And as I'm turning the corner, this kid catches up with me, and he and I turn the corner together, and I'm like, if I was a fucking terrible, evil human being, I could just go yoink, and then bolt with the kid. Or even worse,
because you're thinking about the kid's safety.
Right,
the kid shouldn't be on
right. I'm not saying how am I going to
clarify.
how am I going to eat this kid? And then I thought to myself, like, what if I couldn't help but be a dangerous person? What if the second that kid and me turned the corner and we were not in the viewing of anybody else, that kid disappeared without me being able to help him at all? It's just like, that would be a curse, you know? Because then, like, the parents stop hearing the laughter. They're like, Timmy? Timmy? And then they run over, and then it's just me, just like...
What a great cackle.
You know? So yeah, $1 million, but the second a child that is a stranger to you is with you, and no other eyes are on you, no cameras or anything, that kid disappears to a pocket dimension, never to be seen again.
There's a lot of things I'd do for $1 million.
That's not one of them?
I wouldn't do that for any amount of money. I would not want to be responsible morally for the disappearance of a kid. It doesn't even care about the consequences.
There's no cameras, and there's no eyes on you, so who's really going to accuse you of being around that kid when
But that's the thing.
They don't know when he disappears.
If it keeps happening, and you're still the center of these child disappearances, that's going to stack up fast.
But every time you said there's no cameras, no one's seeing you.
Right. It only happens when there are no eyes on you, digital or organic.
Yeah.
For me, I'm saying it's not even about the consequences. I don't want to be responsible for the disappearance of a kid.
But you want to be responsible. No one would think you're behind it if no one sees it happen.
I would be responsible. Listen, I have done it.
Yeah,
I've
he's
made
agreeing
the
to the $1 million. No, Nick is saying he doesn't want to take a child away from their parents.
I don't want to make a kid disappear. What's happening to them? Are they dying? Am I killing a kid? I don't want to kill a kid.
I'd also say no too, but it wasn't as quick as Nick was to say no to it.
Well, I'm just saying it's a definite no for me.
I
have a little sister.
I'm thinking about it, and I mean, so long as I have like my camera on me at all time, like if I'm like a fucking obnoxious vlogger, like
get some Google glasses, like
right.
eBay,
Technically, there's always a second pair of eyes then, and being an obnoxious vlogger for $1 million, I don't know if I would take it, to be completely honest.
There are millionaires out there that hear this and be like, "Are you serious?"
Well, if you're a millionaire, you can always just hire a dude to always follow you around.
Listen, $1 million doesn't even...
Nick, with $1 million, I could hire you to just follow me. Like, I could pay you whatever you want. And, you could just basically be my eyes guard.
He wants $2 million.
That, or I'd have to be super cautious about, like, everything I do. Like, it's like, oh, fuck a kid. Like, I'd have to, like, run from kids. So don't kill them.
I would not do it.
I just can't help but kill kids.
I will say I'm a fan of these questions. I hope the listeners are too. I like these open-ended, theory-based questions, but this is an easy no for me.
Yeah, no, I think the loss of life of somebody else, even if it's accidental, it's gonna be a no for me too. It's a thought that like popped up, and I'm like, wow, that'd be fucking terrible. Yeah. Imagine being the parents. Imagine being yourself, having to explain, like, I took the money, your kid's gone, you're never gonna see him again. I'm so sorry. Oh, okay, that also reminds me of another hypothetical. This is like, okay, this isn't the $1 million question, it's a simple, like, either or. So, option A, you never have to eat or drink anything in your life, you will never be hungry or thirsty. That's just a thing that it's basically like you're playing Skyrim. You never have to eat.
Okay.
That is not a thing that will help you.
There are mods for it.
However, if you do eat, it is the fucking most vile. No matter if it's something that is delicious,
you can't eat enjoyable food.
Yeah, if you eat something, it could smell delicious, fucking tantalizing. Like that's the best thing I've ever smelled in my life. The second food touches your mouth, it's the most vile, disgusting thing ever. Like you would not be able to stomach it.
I'm guessing since you don't have to eat, like you don't get hungry.
Yeah, right. You don't get hungry, you don't get thirsty.
Oh, yeah. So like even if you wanted like just like a drink, like if you wanted anything.
No human food. Okay, no, that's hold on. That's only part A.
Oh, okay.
Part B, whenever you guys have watched It, right? Yeah.
The clown one did.
Yeah, I have actually seen
it. Okay. The second you intend to bite into something, your mouth and face unhinge like the clown from It, and like the razor teeth come out and bite down. That's out of the question. And bite down into it. But it's only when you intend to actually bite into something. If you're like playfully like nipping at like somebody like like it's not gonna happen. But the second you have intention to bite into something, what would you choose? Would you rather never eat again or have to hide from people when you eat?
But then it tastes gross.
What do you mean?
Oh, okay, you're giving the option. So you're saying either the food is disgusting
or you look like a monster when you eat. Yeah. I mean, you don't have to hide. You could just be like on your
But you
on
still
a dinner
don't get
date.
hungry?
What?
You still don't get hungry in that situation?
No, you get hungry. That one, you're a perfectly normal human being, but it's a curse.
Oh. Wait, what's the benefit?
Nothing.
Oh.
There's no benefit.
You're weighing the bads.
You're picking the worst of two evils.
Yeah, the
better two evils.
Yeah.
Cut that.
You either.
Well, there is a benefit to not having to eat again.
Right, but you never get to eat.
That's only the food is in the situation where the food is disgusting.
Right. Yeah. But you can never eat anything ever again.
Right.
Taste, flavor is a lost concept to you.
It is a curse, but it's a curse that would save me a lot of money.
Yeah.
So
I can get skinnier.
I
so I'm
spend
gonna go
so much money on food.
Yeah, that's where the majority of my income
you said you
goes
can get
to.
skinnier, but like if you never have to eat, how do you even regulate your like your weight. Like
You're thinking too far.
I choose option A because option B, like you have to like just tell everyone you're with. You can't go to restaurants.
Like, you know the face he makes when he bites into Georgie's arm? Like that.
I definitely wouldn't do the clown one.
I would do the clown one.
Because
I
you
would do
want
the
it.
clown.
You want that.
For our listeners, about a couple hours, we were at a really busy Mexican restaurant with like, what, 30 to 40
Just
people
a
in the
gentle
same
little
room
taco,
as us.
and then all of a sudden my eyes roll into the back of my head, and my mouth opens
Yeah.
up twice as large.
Everyone's going to see you doing that. It was a
Call
really
the
busy
police.
place.
People are gonna lose their goddamn minds. People are gonna think like, did I just see that? You know? And it's only when I bite into things, and I'll just take a little fucking cheeky swig of my water, just like, you know? People are gonna be like, did I just fucking see that? You know? That's what I would do. I would want to fuck with people. Like, I'd love to just like be like at a grocery store and like and just like kind of stand like just like menacingly at the end of like one where like, you know, it's like a fucking desolate like grocery store, and all of a sudden like someone like is just like, hello, and then I like, again, intention to bite doesn't mean I will, like I just like and then like run at the person. That would be so fucking funny.
What about when
Okay.
you're not trying to mean with that?
You just want to eat.
We want to. Let's say you're going on
You
a
can
date
still
with somebody.
eat.
You're going to the dinner, and then you
I
like,
would tell them, listen, I was cursed with whenever I intend to bite into something, I look like the clown from It.
Well, that's when they get second thoughts about you, and they don't talk to you ever again. Or like, it won't be that bad, and you're sitting in public.
Listen,
it's
there's a
you and
lot of
somebody
monster
else,
fuckers online.
and they're just sitting there, and you're like, and they're like, well, I'm gonna go.
I think it would be really fucking cool, especially with Halloween costumes.
I think
I would
that's a
love
deal
that
breaker.
shit. I would love that shit. That's
You
a
would
that's
love
a
it
that's
for
a blessing.
little bit. For a little
No,
bit.
no.
You are speaking.
For reference,
Very-
Ramiro really enjoys Halloween.
I
Yeah.
So, like,
love
you would
Halloween.
enjoy that time of the year to have this
He
kind
really,
of
really loves
ability, I
Halloween.
guess you can call
I
it.
am a slut for Halloween.
But there's 11 months a year where it's not
You
Halloween.
are working a job. You're trying to eat lunch in the break room, and
Yeah.
you look like
You
a
gotta
fucking
tell
monster.
you gotta tell everyone.
Someone like opens a door and I'm mid bite, just like,
And
hey.
that's
Gonna go
every
hide in a
single
closet
bite
whenever
too.
you
That's
eat.
not.
I'm not gonna hide. I'm gonna let people know. Hey, I'm a fucking monster. Don't fuck with me.
I would not do it.
I would love to do that. That's a option B for me.
If I have to pick option A or option B, option A,
Yeah,
and
Matt.
then never have to spend money
Option
on
A
food
easily.
again.
Hmm.
I mean,
Save
not
money.
never have to
I
spend
like
money on
food too
food
much.
again. 'Cause
I like food too much to give it up. Like, food is such an important thing in everyday life. Like, it's an important thing of culture. You know,
yeah, but that's because you get hungry.
a lot of memories in food too.
Yeah,
You know, like
a lot of
you can
memories
have-
and smells.
Yeah.
That's where a lot of the memory comes
Yeah,
from.
but then you're gonna be like, oh fuck, I just want a little nibble, and then, you know.
I don't know. I don't know if I would have the craving if I wasn't hungry.
At a certain point, food would disgust you if you Pavloved yourself to the point where like anything I put in my mouth is gonna taste terrible. You know, so like like you're saying, you could eventually get over it, but I don't know if that's the thing I ever want to get over. You know, it's like a benefit of being a human, eat all these poisons that taste like spices to us. You know, so if I have to look like the clown from It, just for a little bit, just when I'm biting.
But that's every single bite.
For
Yeah.
the rest
All
of
the
your life.
rest
Yes.
of your life, all the time, in
Yes.
front of anyone.
Yes,
Like,
I don't see the bad side of this.
there's a lot of bad sides to that.
For that reason,
I'm out.
It's a no for me. Yeah.
we were watching Shark Tank earlier.
It's a no for me.
Like, I think that's a good question. And I got a good debate out of that. But yeah,
All right.
easy choice.
Okay.
Same.
Okay.